Good morning, good morning, good morning, all my good people out there, all my trend geniuses out there, man. How y'all feeling? Welcome to Trade Genius Live. I am your host, Trend Genius. And man, TGI Friday, we are back. Back, TGI Friday. Let me see who we got in the building. Double M, good morning. Morbid Drifter, good morning. Mr. Cologne, good morning. Bodovin, good morning. J Royal, good morning. Oh, happy birthday, bro. Happy birthday, man. Just gifted myself a new account for my B-Day. Happy birthday, bro. I know it's tomorrow, right? Yeah, it'll be tomorrow. Happy birthday, brother. That's what's up. Antonio, good morning. Super Spaceman, good morning. What up? What up? What up? Yeah, man, TGI Friday. Guess what, y'all? We are 1 month in and we're counting trading days, right? Because we got 5 trading days per week. So we have 20 trading days in a month. So today, man, we are 1 month in, believe it or not. Believe it or not. I'm not gonna lie, I'm wearing my Beats. That horn just made me touch the ceiling. Kaz, good morning, Kaz. What's up, brother? TGI Friday to y'all, man. How y'all feeling this morning, man? We a month in. How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? Let me know. How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling this morning? It's Friday, last day of the trading week. Let me know, man. How y'all feeling? I want to know. I want to know. I want to know. I want to know how y'all feeling out there. Sitting on my hands today because my plan has not formed yet. Doing good. How are you? I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Every day. It's getting better and better every day as far as the foot's concerned. But man, the foot is almost like it's almost a thing of the past. Still ain't feeling no pain just when I'm, walking around and stuff. Of course, I know something's going on down there, but other than that, man, I'm good. I'm good. We are today made 3 weeks post surgery, so good, man. We are good. Taylor Pruitt, good morning. Good morning. Morning, my guy. Good morning. TGIF to you, brother. Yeah, man. Who we got? IXM fam. Morning, brother. Without prejudice. That's what's up. You feeling well? That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Good to see you, bro. Without prejudice. I told you that one comment you made. Remember that one comment you made? You said, good morning, Ray. You said any amount is enough. Well, that's in the hard drive right now. That's I didn't moved it over to the hard drive. Like it's in there. I was talking about that yesterday, and I even I made sure I shot you out on that one as well. Let everybody know I like Without Prejudice said, any amount is enough. Yeah, that's a very, very deep statement for our trading psychology. So I'm using that. Anything is plenty. That as well. Anything is plenty. Any amount is enough. Absolutely. 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 That's good, man. I hope y'all feeling good out there, brother. We got about 11, about 10 and a half minutes to the open. Let's jump into some news. Let's see what we got. As I stated, we are 1 month in, man. Can you believe that, bro? 1 month in. Like, wow, we actually have done 1 month of trading days on the live, man. It's great. It's amazing. It's amazing. All right, let's see what we got today. Not really too much popping today. As you see, right here, we really have nothing. The only thing going on for us would be Fed Chair Powell speaks at 10:30, and that's 10:30 my time. Y'all know I'm in LA. I'm on Pacific Coast. I'm on Pacific time, West Coast. So 10:30, I won't be in no trades at that time. I'm never in a trade that late. 9 a.m. is my cutoff, which would be 12 p.m. That would be lunchtime in New York. So I'm never trading that late. But if anyone is, just remember, orange folder and his Fed Chair Powell speaking. So he could say one thing and the market could tank, could do anything. So just be careful if you're in a trade around that time. But at least for the open, we're pretty clear. We ain't got too much going on. So, I'm tripping. Scratch that. Fed Chair Powell, look, that's the 21st. That's tomorrow. He's talking tomorrow. Market will be closed. So we good. As far as today, we're good. Nothing going on today. This 10:30, that's the German president. He don't hold no weight over here. So at least not with our market. But yeah, my bad, y'all. This is for tomorrow. So Fed Chair Powell speaking tomorrow. Not who cares in the regard of the information, but who cares in the regard of, our trading day. So we're gonna get off. We're gonna totally jump off that. So looking at the charts right now, I don't know who was doing anything overnight, but overnight session started here. We kind of just consolidated and kind of just basically just ranged in and out of this reversal zone. And let's see here what time this is. This is all still Asia. It's not London until we hit 11 o'clock, which is about here. London session came in, and then you can see we got a little bearish movement. And we basically had a little pullback bullish, consolidated just a little bit, and then we dumped until about 3-something this morning. Had a little bit of consolidation again, and then now we're back headed bullish. We had a change of character. Excuse me, we had a break of structure right here. So let's see. Let's see what we get for the open. What am I looking for today as far as buys or sells? I always like to look left. See how price pretty much always follows itself. Look at this. This was yesterday. This is our session yesterday. This was when our session actually, this is like 10 minutes into our session, because our session opened at 6:30. Remember, I'm on Pacific time, so 9:30 Eastern. So session opened up, and this is where it pretty much hit. And look, overnight session price came down, pretty much almost hitting the same spot before it started going bullish. I am looking for, let's see here. London did not take out Asia highs. It took out Asia lows. Let's see here. Asia low would be right here. This would be Asia low right here, 6:30, because Asia starts at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for me. So this would be the Asia low. This would be the Asia high right here. So London started here. And, I take that back. This is the Asia low. Let me open this up. This is the Asia low right here. Lowest point Asia went before London kicked in. This candle right here. And then London started right here at 11. And then London took and swept Asia low, made a low here, came back up, made a high. This will be London high right now, and this will be London low right now. So this is the lowest point London went in London session, and this is the highest point London went in London session. So calculating my bias, London took Asia low. Let's see here. Let's go between 11 and 2. Where's 2? Here. Yeah, you know what? Honestly, I'm looking for buys today. But of course, that doesn't mean anything. That's just what I'm seeing. I'm definitely looking for buys. I know with war and all the news we got going on, I know that of course we're way below this 8% line. So I'm definitely looking for kind of what happened yesterday. Price to continue up, go bullish. How far it's going to go into or through this reversal zone, we don't know that. We'll have to sit back and see. We got about 5 minutes to the open. And that's pretty much it, man. What are y'all looking at? Chrissy, good morning. Chrissy said, I'm putting a picture. They ain't going to never call me Chris again, ever. Chrissy, like, I'm putting a picture. If you can't see that, I'm coming for you. Nah, good morning, Chrissy. I love it. I just had to say that. I'm always gonna tease myself about that one. But yeah, what are y'all looking at? What y'all looking at this morning? Good morning, Twyla. Didn't even see you. Good morning. Happy Friday, Empress. Didn't even see you stop in. Serena, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I had my head up. I didn't see y'all. Good morning. Thanks for tapping in. And what are y'all looking at? What are y'all looking at today? Y'all see buys, y'all see sales. Kick Rocks. Good morning, my brother. Good morning. Yeah, I'm definitely looking for buys. If I target anything, it'll be these daily levels right here. I'll be targeting those. So we'll see. We'll see what we got going on. You know what? I want to do a little something. I like to always look ahead. Let's see what we got for next week while waiting for market open. Monday, nothing. Tuesday, we got a lot of overnight. We got PMI, 645. And we have Richmond Manufacturing Index. That's Tuesday. Monday is quiet. Wednesday, quiet. Nothing really going on. Thursday, unemployment claims. And Friday, we're quiet. So considering this week, we have a pretty quiet news week next week. So that's cool. That's what's up. Miss Eloise, good morning. It just broke the recent high, so buy after the London highs. If that's your strategy, that's what you're looking for. That's what's up. If you're asking me, break of the London highs would definitely be, well, let's see. Yeah, that would definitely be a change of character. I'm actually just going to look for my setup, and that'd be, having a market structure shift, a gap forming, and then placing my limit order right at the top of the gap and going for buys. Kind of similar to what I took yesterday. Good morning, boss. I took your advice and bought Gemify Academy. Hope I'm able to get that Discord invite soon. You bought Gemify Academy. Did you get into the inner circle, or did you just buy the academy? Because I believe it's two different ones. See, I've been in a Discord I've been in there for 2 years, and since that time, like, a lot of things change as far as how you get in. So don't quote me, because I'm not sure, but I know that what I do know is since I joined in the inner circle, Juvier created, I know you can buy the Gemify Academy. I know you can get that, but then also too, I know there's that, and then also too, there's the inner circle, where if you join the inner circle, the Gemify Academy comes with it. And then I also think there's a which I love your screen. It's so much clearer. That's what's up. Miss Eloise. Miss Eloise. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for stopping in. Seriously. I'm like happy to see you. Like, I'm really happy to see you in here. That's really cool. Really, really cool. I'm probably not today, but I'm gonna speak on Miss Eloise. Miss Eloise, sweet. Very, 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 very sweet person. But anyway, going back to what we were talking about. Yeah, Dilson. I know there's a few different, things now. I know there's a Gemify Academy. I think you can purchase by itself. Then you can get into the inner circle. That membership also gives you the Gemify Academy. It comes with it. And then I know there's also another. We got about 10 seconds before the open. Then also too, I know there is a come on now. There is a turn this down, make sure it don't get too loud. There is a thing where market just opened. So there we go. There is also, I know, a plan that you can buy the good morning, Soaking Insider. Good morning, Angie. There is a hold on, y'all. Let me take care of this. All right, cool. Don't want to be too much noise over here. There is also another plan where I know you can get into the inner circle. Of course, you get Gemify Academy with that, but then also too, you get like a free account to TEF or something like that. Don't quote me. This is all new stuff. that happened way after I got in. So you would definitely have to check. So just be clear on that. Let's see here. Where we at? That was, I think that was Dilson, right? Yeah, Dilson, just be clear on that because I'm not sure how that works. So just be clear on that when, just look into whatever you purchase. I know to get into the inner circle, you have to have a one-on-one with an intake agent, and they basically want to make sure that you are fit for the inner circle. So just check up on that. Well, the thing is I got a sell side set up, and because I wasn't really looking for sales, but interesting. But I do have a sell side set up where we have market structure shift, have a fair value gap. It hasn't closed yet. This candle has to close before I can consider this fair value gap to be, true, because price can still run back up into here and close this out. I know we have 6 seconds, but that's pretty much the strategy. Yeah, but I'm just not seeing sales today. That's the only thing. I am not seeing sales. I am not seeing sales today. But that don't necessarily mean anything. So let's see. Yeah, I'm not seeing sales. It may sell. That's just not what I'm saying. Next week we're going to talk about how I find my biases based on the overnight session. We're going to talk about that next week. I already started writing it out, so it's something that we can look at every day to kind of give us an idea of what NQ is going to do in our session, in the New York session. Now, once again, we're never married to our bias, but there is something that I was taught. There is something that I learned on how to configure your bias. Have an idea of what your bias is going to be for the New York session. So we'll definitely talk about that. That's going to be we'll talk about that on Monday. I was going to try to do it today, but I need to spend a little extra more time. I need to spend a little bit of extra time putting that together. So yeah, so 5 minute, what we got? Huge drop on the 5. Let's go to 15. We had a little consolidation area on the 15. Could have took a little 15-minute little chop box right here. Let's see, what's this? 630. Tapped into this fair value gap. Let me hit this 30. Nothing there. Let me hit this 1 hour. Not really seeing too much there. 15-minute did give us a little consolidation area right here. I'll show this to y'all. Right here. I mean, you can count it up on the wick, but just to kind of give you an idea, because it's on the 15-minute, like sort of consolidation area right there. And what you could have done on this trade, you could have took the break of this box, pull this down a little bit, put it to there, leave that one there. Yeah, could have took the break of this box, and you could have targeted. Here, you could have targeted consequent encroachment, which is, y'all remember what CE is, right? Consequent encroachment is the middle of the fair value gap. It's just a fancy way of saying the middle of a fair value gap. CE, Charlie Echo, consequent encroachment. So you could have targeted right here. You would have got a quick, what's that? You would have entered a 2443. CE was, say, 385. Yeah, we'll call it 385. So 1543, 58 points for, that is 232 ticks. That wouldn't have been a bad trade. You'd have made some nice bread, even on micros. That would have been a good one. Let's see here. That breakout is basically just this, basically. Same thing. 1 minute. As you can see, it's just a consolidation area. It's like a little breakout trade. But it's something that you want to be looking at. See, on the 1 minute, see, it's a lot more noise on the 1 minute. That's why it's always better to go to higher time frames. Get a lot much clearer picture. 15, 5, little breakout trade. Like I said, grabbed you couple hundred ticks, done for the day. Literally that easy. But these are things that you need to be sitting down looking at this prior to market open. All right, cool. I'm just going to kill this box. All right. So if I was to get into this trade, if I was to take a sell, my limit order would be right at the bottom of this box. That's the slow strategy that I trade. Y'all saw me traded just the opposite in a buy. I'm not going to put an order on, but just for example purposes, my entry would be here, wait for price to come and tap back into this fair value gap, and then continue on to the target. That's what y'all saw me do yesterday. Why I trade that way? You've noticed I have the fair value gaps and I have the swing highs and lows, because the way the strategies that I trade, that's pretty much how I execute them. So fair value gaps and swing highs and lows, my VWAP, my 50, these pink lines, daily levels, these blue lines, unmitigated levels, like that's my strategy and my setup on how I trade NQ. And for those that are new, I only trade NQ. So let me go back in here. Oh, thank you, Miss Eloise. Appreciate that. What we got? Good morning, sis. How can I get those little lines? Which ones, Miss? Got it. Thanks for that info. You're welcome, Dilson. Soak it Insider. Hoping it's not as choppy. Yeah, really. Good morning, sis. I think I said that. Let's go Let's go 1.5K on the rejection, and I'm done. Nice. Canary Poker, what strat you're using? She's a breakout trader. Didn't get any pickup on DSLs. So you're in DSLs. Natalia. Oh my goodness. What's up, my Australian sister? What's up, Natalia? Good to see you. I think this is your first time on the stream, huh? That's what's up. Yeah. Another she said, would you say, sis? Mine. Yeah, she's a breakout. What I can tell you about my sister Canary, she is a breakout strategy trader, and she's amazing at that. Almost pretty much similar to what she does in crypto. Like she's a beast. But Natalia, good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. That's what's up. Tapped in with us. I'm waiting on that. Natalia got some cool things in the works. I'm waiting to get that finished product. Yeah, she built like this really, really dope indicator. Wayne Lord, thanks for stopping in. My first day on the stream. That's what's up, man. Thank you, brother. Well, just to let y'all know, I'm gonna say it again. You begged me to come to this side, and now you don't know me. Laughing. That's too funny. Yeah, Wayne Lord, it's your first day, bro, but check this out. It's only our 20th day of the stream. So we are officially 1 month, one trading month. I'm considering one trading month, because if y'all remember, a trading week is 5 days, right? So we have 20 trading days in a month. So technically, based on our trading month, today is 1 month. So, you know what I mean? Kudos to that. Yeah, so, it's cool. 1 month in, it's been great. Karate 357, Grand Risings, my brother. Thanks for tapping in with us, I should say. But yeah, Wayne, you in a good spot, bro. We're just here. This channel is based on first time here, 1560 this morning on that drop. Nice, Jerry. That's what's up. Jerry Jack in the 8986. That's what's up. Thanks for tapping in. Yeah, so basically, man, the channel, for everyone that's new, Tradegheenyuz is the community. Of course, I'm the host, Trend Genius, and basically we're all trying to get to the point of being trade geniuses. That's why I named that. Yes, if you haven't please subscribe to the channel. We're here Monday through Friday. Basically, we vibe on trading psychology. I got segments for our trading psychology, and we're just building every day. We're building our trading psychology, because without our trading psychology, we will never get to the profits. So trading psychology is what's most important, and that's what we build on. And that's what we're doing here. I would say stay on the ride. It's been cool. It's been fun. We have a great community. Everyone chimes in. Everyone helps everyone else. The community is built on love and graciousness. And you know what I mean? I can't be any more happier than that because I have a bunch of, there's a whole group of people in here that are willing to help, and everybody has come from a great place. Everybody has great intentions, and it is what it is. Jerome in the house. What's up, brother? Thanks for tapping in. When you say that, when I read that, you know what I'm hearing, right? Martin. I'm hearing Martin in my mind. That's what's up, man. Thanks for tapping in. But yeah, we vibing on that. It's Friday, you guys. I don't know, for those that have not watched NQ, don't know too much of the characteristics on NQ. Fridays tend to be, and then we, you know, they tend to be lackluster. So yeah, absolutely, Double M, absolutely. They tend to be lackluster. I don't know. Like I said, I got the short set up, but I was definitely looking for buys. Let me get this off here. I don't belong there. Yeah, so I was definitely looking for buys, but you know, it is what it is. I know Serena took the DSL. That's not a bad. I don't think that's a bad trade. The DSL is not a bad trade, not at all. But yeah, so let's tap into some. Let's get that mental muscle rocking right now. Let's do that. Let's get that mental muscle right. Let's get into question of the day. Why the market is doing what it's doing. So question of the day today is, did price sweep liquidity before this move? Did price sweep liquidity before this move? We're going to talk about that. Let's get into that right now. Let me pull it up. Boom. All right, let's go back to the charts. So the question is, did price sweep liquidity before this? Did price sweep liquidity before it started making this move, this bullish move right here? Anybody in the chat? Let me know. Yes or no? Did price sweep liquidity before it made this move? Let me know. Trent, I appreciate you teaching skill. Absolutely, brother. That's what I'm here for. Robert Washington, thanks for tapping in. Good morning, my brother. Thanks for tapping in. Of course, Jerome, you got it, bro. You know what I'm here trying to do. I'm here trying to get us all mentally prepared. Bottovan said yes. Bottovan said yes, it did sweep. What else? Who else? Did price sweep liquidity before this move? Empress said yes. Who else? Talk to me. I would say no. Still some liquidity below. Who else? Did price sweep liquidity before this move? Looks like you tapped in, Serena. I think if you still have your limit order up, I think you're tapped in. Yep. Not really. Double M said yes. All right, so we got some saying yes, some saying no. So let's go over this. All right. So we're talking about liquidity, right? We're talking about liquidity sweeps. A liquidity sweep is what'd you say? Jerry Jack said no. Soaking Insider said yes. Karai 350 said it looked like it did from what I can see. Serena said didn't take it. Oh, okay, cool. You didn't take the sales. Gotcha. All right, so let's talk about this. And when I ask you these questions, it's not about being right, and it's not even about being wrong. We're just trying to get to some understanding, right? That's all we're here. We don't care about no right and wrong. We're here for understanding. So this is where our liquidity rests. And let me explain why. This is the London low right here. So this is the lowest point London made last night. And as you can see, it's just been it's been bullish ever since, right? Okay. Now, with that said, that means we know what? A lot of people bought down here, right? There's a lot of traders that bought down here. Some overnight traders, whoever was trading overnight, they bought down here, right? And they bought, so that means, they bought, so that means what? They're in buys. So that means what? There's a lot of stop losses down here. So actually, liquidity was not swept prior to making this move. It came close, but it didn't sweep. Liquidity would have swept if price would have came down here and took these London lows, meaning price went lower or right at this same, what is this? The low of this candle is 24,319. So the low, the London low is 24,319. Excuse me. Let me see here. It's not 24,319. Yes, it is. The low is 24,319. So right here at these little dots, right? So price would have had to come all the way down here, even to 24,319 or a little bit past it to sweep this liquidity. And basically sweeping this liquidity is what? Price is coming down here and knocking out all these stop losses that are down here. Some are, I'm sure there's some traders that are trailing it. And the ones that are trailing it, they may have some stop losses up through here. This could have taken some liquidity, but it didn't take all. So liquidity was not swept as of yet. So with that said, always remember, liquidity sweep will be at the lowest point, especially for our New York session, right? Because what do we have before us? We have Asia and London. Let me go to the 5 minutes so I can make this a little bit smaller with less noise, right? So first market that comes in would be Australia market. Shout out to Natalia Moon. And then at 5 o'clock, my time, 8 p.m. Eastern, Asia kicks in. So everything before 5 to market open, that's the beginning of Australia. Then Asia kicks in, right? So before 5 o'clock, it's all Australia. So this is Australia's high. This will be Asia's high. So Asia swept Australia's high, right? Then at 11, London kicks in. So boom, here's 11 right here. So London had not swept, did not get a chance to sweep Asia's high, but it did sweep Asia's low, as we were talking about earlier when we kind of got into this. So London took Asia's liquidity as far as their low, didn't take their high. But most of the liquidity for Asia sits here, right? Because they went bearish. So we know a bunch of traders did what? They sold, right? They were in sells. So we know there's a lot of liquidity sitting here. And then also too, we know there's even more liquidity sitting here because this is London's high. Let me see. Yes, this is because London didn't start till 11. London didn't start till here. That's why I like to have these swing high, swing low points, because they kind of give us a good picture into, you know, where the highs and the lows are. So this is London's high. So we know there's liquidity here because we know traders what? They sold here. And then when it got here, we know traders what? They bought. So there's liquidity sitting here and there's liquidity sitting here. So to go into that, no, liquidity was not swept as of yet. Still hasn't been swept yet before it made that move. Let me go back to the 1 minute. Before it made this move, liquidity was not swept. So just always remember that. Liquidity always sits at these high and low points because those are areas at the high points. Of course, that's where traders sold. At these lows, that's where traders bought. You know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. Let's talk about that a little bit more. A common liquidity zone is basically what I told you: equal highs and lows, a previous day high, a previous day low, a range high or low. It always going to involve a high and a low. Just always keep that in mind. That's where liquidity is always going to rest, at a high and a low. That's just how it works. Now, there was no sweep, right? Now, if there's anyone that trades that way, you know, there are strategies where there are some traders, they trade like liquidity sweeps and stuff like that. I don't trade that way. I only just had this question just for the sake of us just understanding where liquidity rests. And it's just good to know that, because the reason why I'm doing this, because for NQ loves to sweep liquidity. It loves to do that. It always takes the close liquidity first. Excuse me. It doesn't necessarily make it all the way back. It may not necessarily sweep highs and the lows. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. It just depends on the volume of that day. And wow, look at that, Serena. Look at that. Tapped in and going where it's supposed to go. I know you're not in it though, which no harm, no foul. I don't blame you either. I wasn't really seeing sells, but hey, it's playing out. But anyway, so going back to what I was saying, NQ loves to sweep liquidity. That's just what it does. And just based on my characteristics of watching it over the past 2 years, something that I just know it to do. Sometimes it sweeps both sides. It'll sweep the low. It'll sweep what's closest first, and then it'll go the other way and possibly even sweep, the other side, whether it's started high, swept the highs, and then went swept the lows, or swept the lows and then swept the highs. Because liquidity means what? There's money down here. Look at liquidity like a gas station, in the regard that price will come down, kill all these stop losses, right? Get all that bread, and then continue on in the opposite direction. That's just what it does. Going to go do what? Go get all this other money that's sitting up here, all this other liquidity that's sitting up here. That's why it's called liquidity, meaning liquid, So that is one of the characteristics of NQ. And I just wanted to throw that out there because, as I've always stated, we're here, we're learning, and we're trying to understand this ticker. This is the only ticker that I trade. And that's that. Let me see here. Let me jump in here because I know she asked me something and I didn't answer. Miss Eloise. Miss Eloise asked me, how do I get these lines on my chart? Let me go back. Miss Eloise. How can I get, okay. So the little lines, Miss Eloise, I saw your question. I just was in my point. So if I'm not sure, I think you're talking about these lines, right? These swing highs and swing lows. It's just an indicator. And it's right here. Swing high, actually, let me do this. Let's do this. It's this one right here, Miss Eloise. Swing high, low, support, and resistance. I didn't mean to do that. It's this one right here. Swing high, low, support, and resistance by Pattern Smart. So just go to indicators, and then you can type it in. Just start typing in swing high, low, and a bunch of swing high lows will pop up, and you want the one that says by Pattern Smart. Just click on it, and then it'll automatically be on your chart. All you gotta do is just click on it. Click on it like that, and it's there. It'll show up. I have it already on my chart, but it'll still show up again. But yeah, that's all you have to do, and then you have that. And then you can change the colors if you want to change the colors. For y'all that don't know, you can see my blue candles will be green, my white candles will be red. Look at that, Serena. And everyone else. I'm saying look at that, Serena, because there's a strategy that she was going to trade, but she ended up changing her mind, which is no problem. But it's actually playing out. And I was thinking the same thing too. I was like, well, it did give us the buy side strategy, which is market structure shift. That's basically a close after the New York Open. That's a candle close above the most recent swing high or below the most recent swing low. In this case, it's the most recent swing low. We do have a pink line down here, which would just be our daily level. So this is a target. I would have, like I told y'all, I would have placed my limit order right here at the bottom of this box, because as I told y'all, I'm gonna tell you all these characteristics, and you see how they play out just the way I say. And I'm not trying to be right. I'm just telling you the characteristics of what I've seen of this ticker. I always say that. I'm not trying to be right. I'm just giving you my knowledge on the characteristics of me watching this ticker for over 2 years. It's the only thing that I trade. It's the only thing that I watch. So price came down. Actually, it made market structure shift. The next candle made the fair value gap. It doesn't have to be the next candle that makes the fair value gap, but you want market structure shift first. It closed below the most previous swing low. Then it formed a gap right here. My entry would be at this green line. I'll wait for price to come back and tap into this fair value gap. It would have tapped me into the trade and then continue on to the target. And the target would have been here. I would have had my TP here. My stop loss would have been up here at the most previous swing high, right there. My stop loss would have been right here. Stop loss, entry, take profit. That is the strategy that I trade. Serena trades it also. And you can do this to the buy side or the sell side. Now, let's look at this. Even though my bias was buys, sells, just looking back at it, sells did look good because think about it, what we just talked about. We just talked about liquidity, right? Price all. New York session loves to go and take liquidity from the previous night's sessions. It's just something that I've known it to do based on its characteristics. That's what it loves to do. One of the characteristics of NQ is it loves to go back into these fair value gaps because these are where orders are sitting. It loves to do that, and it loves to take liquidity. And that's where it's going right now. It's just about there. And it loves these daily levels. That's why they're on my chart. As you can see, the indicators, these daily levels, this fair value gap indicator, this swing high low, these unmitigated areas, all of this is conducive to the characteristics of the way NQ moves, and it's the strategies that I use. That's how I trade NQ. I trade it based on its characteristics. And this is something that was taught to me from my coach and my mentor. This is the only ticker that he trades. He's been watching this thing for over 10 years. So as I stated, target would have been here, and basically hold. My TP would have been here, target, same thing. And then boom, whenever that hit, that would have hit. And that's basically the strategy that I trade. And a couple of you guys have been on the call. You've seen me trade this yesterday. Yesterday, it went against me because I made a mistake. I put my stop loss in the wrong point, and I actually was in on too many contracts. I should have been on 3, but we talked about this yesterday. I'm still trying to engage and handle my responsibility here as well as trade at the same time. So nevertheless, that trade would have won. And also, too, look at what else we're getting. We're getting a liquidity sweep. Finally, it's coming down here, and this is boom. Liquidity has been swept now. Now liquidity has been swept. Any stop losses that were down here, they're taken now. NQ got that bread. And does that automatically mean a reversal? No, it doesn't automatically mean a reversal. It doesn't mean, okay, liquidity swept, let me buy now. No, that's not what I'm saying. Because it can continue on. But what I'm saying is NQ price loves to sweep liquidity. That's just a characteristic of it. So dang, Serena, that would have won. What did it say? Let me make sure I'm not missing anyone. I answered on the 1 minute. Yes, you did. Let me see here. Just scrolling through, y'all. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Good morning. Jerome Bodovan. Yes, yes. Oh, yes, yes. Yes, yes. Not really. No, no, no. Looks like it did from what I see. I've been looking at the liquidity the wrong way. Thanks, Trent. Absolutely. Took my base hit. I'm done for the day. Canary, where you at? How you putting the swing high low on your charts? I answered that question. That was amazing how you helped us break that liquidity sweep concept down. Absolutely. Jerome is high and lows on trade. That's correct. Thank you, Double M. Appreciate that. NQ says, hold my beer. I'm going for the rest. Right. Yeah. Yeah. What else we got? Waiting for the Serena said, man. I got to sell on the yes. Full TP hit. Full TP to the daily. Pink line was 469 ticks. That'd have been a nice trade. In a trade, DL, my bias was bearish. That's what's up. Empress Dilson. Is this strategy only good in New York session? Yes, it's only been back tested for New York session. That's correct. That's correct. But it's a hellified strategy. It's a great strategy, especially if you take it every day. Support at 24.14. All right. So as you guys can see, let me take this off. It doesn't belong there. Let me take this off. Doesn't belong there either. All right. So Miss Eloise, I hope you got those that indicator on there. If you didn't, just let me know in the chat. We'll get it for you. We'll make sure you got it. If you didn't catch what I said, I think you got it, but just want to make sure that you got that. But yeah, so that is one of the strategies that I trade, everyone, and it's very effective, as you can see. I'm telling you, I trade NQ based on characteristics. So let's get back to the question of the day, because the question of the day, it's funny how it's crazy, man. Go to show you that when God is working, right? Like I choose all of this stuff the night before, right? Actually, when I'm done on stream, you know what I do? I sit here, I get my question of my day together, I get my tip of the day together, and I schedule the next live for the next day. I do it while I'm sitting down because I have so much stuff going on that if I get up and try to wait and do it later, phone calls and this and that, a lot of things going on. It'll sometimes I noticed in my first week I wasn't getting to it, so I told myself I have to have a better plan. The plan is to do this while I'm still sitting down. So now I do it right after I'm done with the stream. I don't even get up. I sit down. I'm already sitting down. I knock it out. I'm saying that to say, considering the fact that I do these questions of the day and these tips of the day before, and it's funny how I'm telling you that this is how you know when God working. I'm serious. If you guys been noticing, these questions of the day have been lining up with what's been going on the charts. It's crazy cool. Like it's a trip. It's a trip. It's true. That's why I said that's when you know when God is working, man. It's wild, and not wild in a bad way. It's just wild, like blow your mind type wild. And I'm telling you, I have not been purposely doing that. It's just been happening that way. Like I said, that's how you know when God is working. And just kind of it gives me a reaffirmation that I'm where I'm supposed to be. Y'all are where y'all supposed to be. Literally. How can I do? Let me see. Let me get back. Yes, only good in New York session, Dilson. I have support. Okay, more liquidity at 24,214. Oh, wow. So down here, that must be from somewhere before, from some other days. That's a possibility. But yeah, who else? I took the sell, but my stop loss was too shallow to hold the trade. Ended the day with an L. Still alive to trade another day. One and done today. Lesson learned. Absolutely. Hey, how do I set up where it automatically takes me out the trade once I either hit TP or stop? All you gotta do is put the order on your chart. Once you put the order on your chart, it'll take it out. So the way I set up my my trades, I like to use this plus button. There's a few different ways people do it. People do the long and short tool. They use that tool. That'll be the long tool. They use the short tool. You know what I mean? And then put it where they want to put it. This don't get you into the trade. You can just use this. You'd have to take a couple extra steps to use this to get in the trade. What I like to do to control my trade better is I like to use this plus sign right here, right? So I know at the bottom of this fair value gap, that would have been my entry, right? So I use this. And as you see, it gives me what? Sell 4 because I'm already in on my trade on, I'm trading on another eval. I got another fresh eval, but I'm already in my trade on 4 or 5 micros, whatever it is I'm trading. And everyone on here should be trading micros. Let me make that clear. Everyone should be trading micros. If you're trading minis, stop trading minis. Trade micros. And I'm only saying that because we're all still in the beginning stages. No one here has like good 5 years of trading, not even myself. Trade micros for a number of reasons. And don't get in your mind that, oh, the micros move too slow. Yeah, it moves too slow when you're making profits, but it also will move slow if it goes against you. So just keep that in mind. No one in this call should be trading minis. Everyone should be trading micros, period. It gives you much more flexibility, and it allows your account to take some graze wounds, meaning some non-profitable trades. When I say graze wounds, because when you're trading micros, when those non-profitable trades are graze wounds. If you're trading minis, those non-profitable trades are headshots. You're going to be blowing your account. Trust me, I've been there. Just follow my experience. That's why I'm here. I do not trade minis. I only trade micros. I do not trade minis. So going back to what I was stating, 5 micros is pretty much my max. I'll trade 6 if I'm going to leave a runner, but 5 is my max. I don't really go no more than 5. All right. So I always keep 5 there. 4 was there because yesterday I was in a trade and I went down to 4 and I was going to leave a runner, but the trade went against me because as y'all know, I made a mistake and put my stop loss in the wrong area and it came back to get me. That's what it is. And I did not widen my stop. Y'all saw that. I had to eat it, right? I had to eat that mistake. You don't widen your stops when you make mistakes. You don't do that. You make a mistake, you eat it, or you just exit out the trade immediately and just take whatever small loss that you have. Those are the options. You never widen your stop, because if you widen your stop, you're just creating more risk, and it just doesn't make any sense, and your account is going to take that much more of a hit. You don't need that. Remember, we're not going to win every trade, but the idea is to what? If our accounts are non-profitable on that day, we're one and done. And what do we do? Like Kyle said, we live to trade another day. That's how we do it. Shut it down and move on. You don't chase your losses. You don't say, oh, I'm going to get that back. You ain't taking nothing out the market. None of us. So just remember, we ain't getting nothing back. So that's not the right ideology. We're not taking anything out the market. We're only taking what the market gives us. Remember that. We are the small fish. We're the bottom feeders. We're the retail traders. The big fish are the bank and all the hedge funds. They got all the money. So it's just like us. If you ever been to Vegas or you've been somewhere gambling, you ain't gonna beat the house, right? I don't care how much money you have. You ain't gonna beat the house. The house always gonna win. So, and I'm not saying that in the regard of trading. I'm saying that in the regard of psychology, right? We're not taking anything out of the market. We're taking what the market gives us. Just keep that in mind. So going back to what I was saying, I would be in on 5 micros, and I like to use this plus tool. So I can put this at, as you see, the price point is moving. I can put this at any price point I want. Click in there, and then I can select a sell limit if I want to go sell, a buy limit if I want to buy. Buy stop, I wouldn't really need that right now because I need to place my entry first, right? So let's say if I was going to take this trade, this sell, I would have did a sell limit for 5, right? Boom. Got me in right there. When price would have came and tapped me in, then I would have set my take profit level here, which would have been a buy limit, because in order for me to get out of a sell, I have to buy, right? So it becomes a buy limit. Up here would have been my stop loss, and it would have been a buy stop. Remember, whatever your entry is, if your entry is a sell, your stop is going to be a buy stop. Your take profit is going to be a buy limit. It's going to be the opposite. If you're selling, you got to buy to get out of that trade. If you're buying, you have to sell. It's just the opposite. If this was a buy limit, then this would be a sell stop, and my stop loss would be a sell stop, and my take profit would be a sell limit. Just keep that in mind. So this is how I like to execute my stuff also too. What I like is I can slide these and put them anywhere I want. That's the other thing that I like. Now, of course, I'm not moving my stop. Now, let's say I got in this trade, hit my target, and I got a runner. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to take my buy stop, and I'm going to move it just below my sell limit. Why? So if price comes back to get me, I'm still going to make a little bit of bread on that last runner, right? I'm not going to leave it up here. I'm going to move it down here to protect my my profits that I already banked. So that's pretty much the concept on that. That's why I like to do it that way. Of course, everyone can do it the way that they see fit, but I am saying this because this is what I found to be the easiest. Why is this the easiest? Because it's the quickest. Using a long and short position tool, it's cool, but you got to be a lot quicker than that. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Everyone has their way, but the way I've learned is doing it with this plus sign. Get this out of here. I love to do this. I love to do it this way. A lot of flexibility. Just like I can put it on, I can put the sell limit on, I can take it off just that quick. It's like very, very quickly. So going back to question of the day. Let's jump back over there. I always want to give y'all a little tidbit because I know we have some new viewers on. I know some of them do know that, but the ones that don't, you just got some extra gems. So going back to liquidity, remember common liquidity zones are going to always be what? Lows. Let's go to the 5 minutes, kill some of this noise. It's going to be lows and highs. It's Asia high right here. So lows and highs. And once again, one characteristic of NQ, it loves to take previous session liquidity. Remember, in our market, we in our New York session market is more money and more volume being moved in our market. Well, I won't say volume because sometimes not all the time, but it's definitely more money being moved in our New York session than it is in Australia, Asia, and London session, pretty much almost combined. So that is one of the reasons why you'll notice NQ loves to come and sweep that liquidity. NQ and our New York session always loves to come and take the previous night's liquidity. That's just how how it's been from a characteristic standpoint. So there it is. So to answer your question, PC Sav, I answered your question. Support. God is good. He teaches you every day. Absolutely. Yep. Yo, just hit my goal. I see it now. It's all one spirit. Absolutely. La Playa time. That's what's up. That's what's up, Ben. Thanks for explaining it again. Absolutely. Hey, bro, genius. Yes. Kang, what's up? I ain't forgot. You said call you Kang. I ain't forgot that. I was in a sell trade and I set my sell stop at my TP and sell limit at my, but once I hit my TP, the trade continued. So you were, once you hit your TP, you were still in the trade? I'll go over the consistency rule for you. That's no problem. I'll do that. I got you. Hashtag micro gang. That's what's up. All day. All day. All day. I think limits are what I get confused on. I like stop orders. Gives me the ability to plan a trade and adjust TP. Absolutely. I'm in a sell. What would I put my stop loss? What would be buy stop? That's correct. It'd be a buy stop PC. Yo, where can I pick up one of those shirts? Coming, bro. They coming. Need to represent. They coming. For real, for real. They coming. Chi-Town in the house. That's what's up. They coming. They coming, Ben. They coming. Yeah, they coming. They're for sure coming, brother. They're for sure coming. These and the we're gonna have some polos, some t-shirt. Basically what you see me wear. And the hats. We got the hats. We got the hats with the logo also. So, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna have those. Yeah. So they coming. They coming. We only 20 days in, but yeah, brother, for sure. They coming. Absolutely. And we're gonna be doing some giveaways too. That's another thing I want to talk about today. We're gonna get there. But yeah, so I'm glad that we talked about liquidity. Let me see here. I think someone else asked me a question. Cry 357. We're gonna talk about you want to talk about got you, about the consistency rule. We'll jump there. That's very consistency rule is very easy. All right, so let's get through question today. So everyone is clear on liquidity zones. Remember, equal highs, lows, previous day high lows, range high lows. That's where pretty much all liquidity, that's our common liquidity zones. And I explained to you why those are, why liquidity rests there and what those are, what's going on there. So just always remember that. At a low, we have what? A lot of stop losses for traders that have what? Bought. They're in buys. And just the opposite on highs, right? That's the area we have liquidity there. A lot of stop losses for traders that what? That's sold. They're in sells. So very simple, very easy. And thank everyone for chiming in on that. I appreciate that. So let's get out of this and let's talk about the consistency rule. All right. Let me pull that up. I had it yesterday. What did I do with it? What I do? Yeah, let me pull it up. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna go to the website. Let's just go there. Actually, I think I do have that doc. There we go. Boom. All right, let's open it up. We'll run through this real quickly. I ran through all the rules yesterday. And also even there's also a I think my guy, we do have a video that's talking about the TEF trading rules, but we'll jump into it real quick. Let me do this screen share and then we'll switch. We'll go here. All right, cool. So it's real easy to find the consistency rule. Real easy. So, and it's for TEF. And this can apply to any prop firm. when you see a consistency rule. Remember, your consistency rule is always going to be based upon your profit target. So let me explain. Let me get there to that one little area, which is, where are we? You know what? I think it'll be here. I can just do it off of here. So, yeah, I can do it off of here. So your consistency rule is going to always be based on your profit target, right? So in a 25K, your profit target is 1,500. So the consistency rule is always based on your profit target. So the profit target on 25K account is 1,500. How do we know we have a 20% consistency rule for TEF. How do I know what that dollar amount is? Real simple. Got to use all these tools around us. I know it off the top of my head, but I'm just doing it this way just so for example purposes. So go to Google and just type in what is literally 20% of 1,500. The answer, it gives you the answer. It's 300, right? So your profit target, the amount to keep you under consistency rule would be, in this 25K, you can't make more than $300 a day. It's consistency rule. You make anything more than $300 a day on this 25K account, you breach the consistency rule. And what happens is that amount gets added. The percentage, however much you went over, that percentage gets added to your profit target. So now your profit target is not 1,500 anymore. It's going to be a lot more than that, depending on how much, depending on the amount you went over the $300, the consistency rule. So just keep that in mind. And then for the 25K, if you look at all these are doubling, right? So if it's 300 here, then you know this is 600. Then you know what? This is what? Y'all should know that. Real easy. Real easy. It's doubling. 3, 6, right? Come on, y'all. Talk to me. Talk to me. That's what's up. I'll see you Monday. I'll see you Monday. He said, of course we do. But yeah, so that's pretty much how you find it. Real simple, real easy. All you got to do is just, if it's 50%, you know what 50% would be. That would be 750, 1,500, 3,000, 4,500. So whatever it is, your consistency rule will always be based on the profit target, not the 25K. And that's how you do that. Very simple, very easy. Very, very easy. So let's do this. Let me jump to my other. Let's go here and bam. All right. So hopefully that answers your question. I think that was a real easy one. But yeah. And then what else we got? What's good, bro? I have a question. I'm a 9-to-5 trucker. What do you recommend to trade in overnight session? I only trade NQ channels. I only trade NQ, my guy. I only trade NQ. NQ has there's some strategies that you can trade in the overnight session for NQ. There's some overnight strategies that you can trade. Absolutely. That's all I trade. I know silver does good. I know gold does good. I know other traders that trade it. I'm just giving you some ideas. I know silver is pretty good. Be careful. Silver moves very crazy. It's like $25 a tick or $20 a tick. It's crazy. Gold is good. You can always do micro silver or micro gold in NQ. I don't really know of anything else that moves overnight that I've seen other traders trade. And I'm talking about, I know a professional trader that trades NQ, silver, and gold overnight. Professional trader, meaning like he is considered a professional trader by all the prop firms. He don't even trade prop firms. He trades his own money. He makes millions of dollars. Yeah, and those are the three that he trades. So I would say if he's trading those three, then I would only have to say those three must be good to trade overnight. I only trade NQ, so I can only speak on NQ, but I do know that he does trade gold, silver, and NQ, to answer your question. What else we got? Make sure I'm not missing anyone in here. So this month's promotion doesn't change the consistency rule. No, the consistency rule does not change. Thanks for answering, Regina. Appreciate that. No, the consistency rules yeah, like silver overnight. The consistency rule does not change. The only thing that changes, Elamite, is the if you purchase your account between March 17th and March 31st, you get the no max loss limit and the no daily loss limit. Everything else stays the same. So consistency rule stays the same no matter what account you get. All that stays the same. The only difference is with purchasing your accounts during that time is there's no max loss limit and no daily loss limit. And we talked about that yesterday. That means with no max loss limit, your account has to get to 0 before it blows. Crazy, amazing. Matter of fact, I have a video. Check that video out. Matter of fact, I'll put the link in there for it. It's really, really cool. I talk about this. Let's go here. I'll share it right now. For you, Elamite, check this out. Just so you're clear. And anyone else that wants to check it out, check it out. It's really, really cool. This is a really, really cool. You're welcome, channels anytime, brother. You're welcome. So do you have to make 6,000 before you can take a profit on 100K? Yes. If that is the profit target, yes. You have to make 6,000 gets you to the payout threshold, but you have to get over that. So that's why the TF accounts are so cool, because in most prop firms, you have an evaluation, right? So an evaluation, let's say if you had a 100K evaluation on pretty much most prop firms, the way it works is this. In a traditional setting, you buy the account, you're in an eval portion of that account now. You're in the eval phase in this 100K. We're going to use 100K as an example. You get to 6,000, you pass your eval. Now that account goes into a SIM funded account. It's not an eval anymore because you passed it. And you have to start all the way back over again, add 0, and then you got to get to 6,000 again, or whatever the buffer amount is, before you can start making, taking a payout. Some are not quite 6,000, some may be less, but my point is it's like starting all over again, right? It's like doing an eval twice. That's what makes the edge funder accounts so great and so trader friendly, is that you only have to do it one time. In the edge funder accounts, you only have to do it one time. So you buy your account, you get to the payout threshold, and then everything over that is yours. It's yours. When I say yours, meaning like it's eligible for a payout. That's when you can start taking payouts. So you just have to reach the payout threshold, and then you're good. Very simple. Very, very simple. That's what makes the edge funder accounts, like as I stated, so trader friendly and so good. You don't have to do it twice. That's how you know that that company was built by traders for traders. Period. Of course, they're in business to make money, no doubt. But look at the rules. Yeah, someone may complain, oh, the consistency rule is 20%, this and that and this. Yeah, it's tight. But guess what? I'm gonna tell you what that does. That's gonna make you a super disciplined trader, because that's what Apex did for me. And everybody knows Apex has some tight rules. And I'm talking about prior to their rules change. Their rules just changed about a month or so ago. I started trading Apex 2 years ago. And you guys know, everyone will complain about, oh, the rules, the consistency rule, all this stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, their rules were very, very, very tight. They just relaxed the rules, but I was trading it then. And you know what it did for me? I didn't get in my head about the rules being tight. I focused on making sure that I followed them. Whatever they were, I followed them. I took my time and I read everything. That was like a couple hours of like literally reading and understanding. And I understood the rules, and I just traded within the rules. And I'm going to be honest, it made me a super disciplined trader, because think about it. All the rules are tight. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't have crazy big days. I can't have a $200 day one day, then have a $2,000 day the next day. It doesn't match the consistency rule. So what it made me do is it taught me how to take base hits. So how I would win with Apex is the same way you're going to win with the edge funder. It's the same way. Take base hits. Take base hits. that 250, if you're in a 25K account, that 250, 300, 280 right in there, just don't go over. Set your take profit level right where you're going to hit that amount, take that and be done for the day, one and done. That's going to teach you consistency. You're going to build consistency. That is what's going to make you a disciplined trader. And it's also going to get you to becoming a consistent, profitable trader. That's how you win in this game. You don't win by trying to make a home run every time you get up to bat, right? Think about it. You just want to just get on base. You get on base, you still got a chance of getting around the home. So on TF, you must have, you must have 7 profitable, also too, on TF, you must have 7 profitable trading days to be able to collect that payout. So it's a couple of things. Staying under consistency rule. That's why I put that the link in there, so because we went over all of that. So you can check out that video. And you're welcome, Elamite. But yes, that is one of the other rules. And actually, that rule is similar to Apex. Not the same, but similar. It's a certain amount of days and a certain amount of profit you have to make to be able to be eligible for the payout. Some people may look at it like, man, I got to do all that. Yeah, you have to do all that. It's not designed to make you fail. It's designed to build you up and make you a disciplined, consistent, profitable trader. Like, that's how you have to look at the rules. You know, don't look at these rules from a pessimistic mindset. Look at them from an optimistic mindset. Literally, you got to have rules. Think about it. If these prop firms didn't have rules, they wouldn't be in business for a long time. Just think about that. They got to have rules. They're in business to make money. They got to protect their profits, right? But we can win within the rules. I know we can. I know we can. And thank you, Serena. I appreciate that. Thank you, Serena, because that is another major thing. 7 profitable days. Yep, it makes you stay consistent. That's what Apex did for me. That's why TF accounts, I don't have no problem with them. Actually, coming from Apex, I didn't have no problem with any other prop firms after that, because it's like Apex is the most strict. They have the most strict rules. So I think I did myself a great service by just starting with Apex first. And then the other thing too, I was new. I didn't really know. I knew there was other prop firms, but I didn't really know anything. I didn't know anything. I didn't know like there was take profit trader and the rules were different. I thought all the rules were the same. I was young. I was young in the game, right? I was new. I didn't know all of this stuff. Period. Buenos dias. Buenos dias, mi hermano. ¿Qué pasó? Thanks for tapping in. That's why I rock with TF. I haven't gotten a payout yet, but I know I'm learning to be a trader. Even that Canary struggled with getting her first payout, and she's still been trading. That gave me confidence. Absolutely. Absolutely. And we know Canary's a beast, but it just goes to show you, like, you have to stay consistent with this. And not to say that she wasn't being consistent. I'm just speaking generally for all of us. It's going to teach you to be a consistent and the most important thing, a disciplined trader, right? Because you can't have consistency without discipline. And that's another reason why these rules were built like this. That's why Juvier and Scalp God built these rules this way. Like it's something in there. If you really look at it for what it is, you really break those rules down. Like having a daily loss limit once you get to the payout threshold. You know why that is? That's to protect your account. So just look at the rules for what they are. They're there to help you. Yeah, I'm a little bilingual, Empress. I don't know if I told you, my mother's Puerto Rican Cuban. Spanish was my first language. I learned English in the first grade. Like no stuff. Like seriously, it's my first language. Yeah, they don't let Sogan Insider. They don't let you hold trades overnight, but you can. Okay, so you can trade overnight. Let me explain to you how you do that. So when a New York session closes, right? You just make sure you're out of the trade, right? And then when the overnight session opens, you can get back into a trade. If you go look at the rules on TF, you can trade. It says you can trade from 6 p.m. Eastern to 4:15 p.m. Eastern. 6 p.m. Eastern would be overnight session. That's when it starts. So you can trade that. You can trade overnight. You just can't hold it. You can't hold your trade through the end of New York session to the open of overnight session. You have to close out of that position, and then you can open your position back up when overnight session enters. So you can still trade overnight. You just can't trade through New York session to the open. So you can still trade overnight. All of them allow you to do that. All of them allow you to do that. You can trade the overnight session. I'm telling you because I traded on the overnight session. I have traded. But yeah, Empress, you'll be surprised. I'm telling you, people look at me and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's black guy." Like, and then they start talking Spanish around me and don't even know that I understand everything that they're saying. But yeah, okay, Miss Hunter, thanks for absolutely. I want to make sure I clarify that for you, so you have an opportunity to get in there and make some bread. Just remember, your position has to be closed before New York session closes, and you can reopen it after overnight session. Real easy. So you can trade the overnight session with no problem. And let me say, I'm not gonna say all prop firms, but I'm gonna say Lucid, yes. Let me start from the top. The Edge Funder, yes. Lucid, yes. My Funder Futures, yes. Tradeify, yes. Take Profit, yes. Apex, yes. That's the only ones I mess with. I don't mess with Top Step. I used to. I don't mess with them anymore. They play too many games and their system's always down. Nobody has time to deal with that when we're trying to get our money. I just don't mess with them. I'm not trying to disparage them, but I treat you the way you move. If you move messed up, I'm going to say you messed up. And that's how they move. They move messed up, in my opinion, the way they've been moving. The systems are down. They're not honoring their mistakes that they're making. And I know this because I know a lot of traders that weren't getting payouts. And I'm not talking about going into the Top Step Discord and reading. I'm talking about people that I know personally that got their stuff. Exactly. Thank you, Miss Empress. Thank you. You said what I've always been saying in my brain. Literally. You said what I've always been saying in my brain. Yep. As though that exactly what you're saying is just the way that I feel about them. And I'm not here to disparage anybody. I grade you on how you move. It's okay. System mistakes are okay. They're going to happen. They're computers. No computer system is perfect. But my point is, when that happens, you should be honoring that. You should be honoring that. Especially when I go into the chat and I see all these people talking about all these issues they have. And then I have friends that trading with Top Step and they tell me, "Man, I didn't even get my payout. They won't even give me my payout. This, that, and this." And I'm like, that ain't cool. That ain't cool. Yep. But cousin Kurt at. Absolutely. And these are not just, like I said, these are people that I know personally. Like, I know them personally. They're telling me their story. Yeah, it's facts. The proof is there. Like, we not high capping and we're not disparaging them. We're talking about like how they moving as a business, right? Because at the end of the day, we're doing business with them, right? Anytime you buy an account with any prop firm, you're doing business with that prop firm, period. I don't care how you look at it. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is with Top Step. And I'm saying that, and I'm saying this to y'all not to disparage them. I'm saying to y'all because I want to protect y'all. Don't mess with them. Don't give no money to them. Because if something happens, you're going to be the ones holding the bag and you're going to be the one pissed off and angry. And to save yourself the headache, just don't even deal with them. There are other prop firms that we can deal with. You know what I mean? There's more people that we can do business with. It is what it is. Top Step is like a figment of my imagination. I ain't gonna lie. I used to like them. I used to like the rules and all of that stuff. But the way they move from a business perspective, the way they were handling stuff is not professional. And that's just my opinion on it. People that trade Top Step, they could be angry, pissed off at me or whatever. I'm just saying how they move. For my dollar, they can't get none of my money. My money is no good over there. Literally. Like, there are more of the prop firms that you can get that give you just the same value, giving you just the same, giving you the same value as far as the rules and all of that stuff, payouts and all of that. So, and I can tell you ones that I trade and they are amazing. I am cool. So just protect yourself, err on the side of caution, leave Top Step alone. Yep. Everybody chiming in. Jerry Jack, yep. I trade 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. also, especially if I don't find a setup during. Yeah, Nano Trades, absolutely. Is there any active discount codes available? You just missed HBS 2408. You just missed the 25% off for the TEF accounts. That ended last night at midnight. But if you hit my description, you will find I have codes to all the ones that I trade. I have my TF code. Actually, my TF code is here. If you want that, you'll still get, if you use the referral link, you get 15% off. I believe if you use the referral link, you get 15% off. If you use my code TRENDTEF, just the way that it's spelled, it's case sensitive. So trend and TEF, just the way that it's spelled, you have to put it in. If you put in all caps or you put in all lowercase, it's gonna kick it out. But you have to put it in just the way that I have it written there. You still get some percentages off. So there are some discount codes available. You just end up missing the 25% last night, but that's okay. No big deal. Apex, just go in my description. I have stuff down there. Apex always having a sale. TF had a really, really great sale, but it was only for, I think, 3 days or 4 days, but whatever. It was a great sale. It was a great, great, great sale. It was a great sale. And let me say this, I still would recommend you going to get the hedge funder accounts, because even though you may have missed a 25% off, there's still these very, very fire accounts that you can get right now that they're unprecedented as far as what they're doing. No max loss limit, no daily loss limit. There's nobody in the game doing that. Nah. Karate 357. And I'm gonna say it like this. Heck nah. No way. I'm there to protect the community, right? And I'm gonna tell you, leave them alone. Don't mess with them. Now, some people say, well, I never had a problem. If you haven't had a problem with them, man, kudos to you. I am not trying to like fight with that. If you haven't, great. But people that I've seen and people that I know having issues. The funny thing is, I left Top Step a long time ago. You know when I left them? We went 2 weeks. It was like, it was 2 weeks, and 3 days of those 2 weeks, the systems were down. And I was like, you know what? I'm good. I'm not about to deal with this. Like, I'm good. Think about it. Most of the time when those systems down, it always ends up this way. When those systems are down, it's always a day where we got good price action. You had that perfect setup. Like, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with that. We're talking about money. I don't want to deal with that. Like, I understand things can happen, but the consistent thing, and then when Tradeovate cut them loose, because I don't know if you guys know, yo, drip, 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 drip. Yo, I see you, bro. I see you. When Tradeovate cut them loose, I don't know if y'all remember last year, Tradeovate cut them loose. Them and Tradeovate was like, nah, we good. That told me something. That was a red flag. If anyone paid attention to that, think about this. Tradeovate is a broker, right? They make money with prop firms. It's the best thing for a broker to do is to what? Partner with prop firms, right? So when you go to buy your prop firm account, you can choose Tradeovate, NinjaTrader, whatever you want. You have your choice, right? So when Tradeovate cut them loose, you know what that told me? If this company is willing to unpartner with another company in an area where partnering up, a broker partnering up with a prop firm is very, very, very like a very advantageous thing for the Tradeovate business model. When they cut them loose, guess what that told me? Writing's on the wall. They cutting them loose for something. Now we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but I'm just looking at what's being showed to me. And I'm just using good judgment and common sense. When Tradeovate cut them loose, and then they started having those issues, I was like, oh, I'm done. I'm done. Because if a broker cuts a prop firm loose, that tells me a lot about that prop firm. Something about the way you doing business ain't cool, because this other business don't want to be in business with you anymore. So guess what? I cut them loose too. And it seems like ever since that time, go and do the research. Go on Google, go find out when Tradeovate cut them loose, and then go back and start doing the research after that. And you start seeing Top Step just start having problems after problems after problems after problems. And I'm good. Like that was one of the best decisions I could have ever made. You know what I did? I saved myself so many headaches, because once you buy that account, they ain't trying to give you no bread back. I can tell you that right now. They ain't trying to give you no bread back at all. So to answer your question, High Karate, no, sir. He's laughing. Seriously, like, heck no. That's how I got to say it. Heck no. And I am not a person to disparage anyone or anything unless you are like coming after my people. If you're coming after my people, then guess what? I'm going to let my people know. You know, you trash. You know, the way you're conducting business is trash, period. And you're not, put like this. When we buy a prop firm account, we're at their mercy, right? With that account, we're at their mercy, right? We got to follow their rules. We got to do all this, all that to pass the eval. If there's no eval, we got to get to the profit target. We got to keep consistency rule. We can't hedge. We can't scale only so much. Like, there's a lot of rules we have to follow, right? And I'm good with that. But my point is, we're at their mercy. So the last thing I want to do is be at a mercy, at the mercy of someone I'm doing business with. And then when it comes time to get my money, y'all giving me this whole song and dance, and you ain't honoring nothing. And basically, I'm just throwing money away. What? We don't need to do that. Nobody here in this community or in any other communities that I'm in has time to be throwing money away. And then on top of that, needs to be walking around with that headache. We don't need to be walking around with that. We need to keep this thing right here. We need to keep this as clear as possible. We need the most clarity that we can have out of all of our tools, all of our prop firm accounts, whatever it is that we use for trading. We don't need to be bringing a headache into a situation that already has a lot going on with it. Trading has so many moving parts, right? We don't need to be bringing in no headaches with that. We need to keep everything as seamless as possible. That's the best way I can put it. And I'm going to leave it there. So let's jump into tip of the day. Tip of the day. Tip of the day. Let's jump into tip of the day. All right. So tip of the day is one sentence trade thesis. One sentence trade thesis, right? Think about that. One sentence trade thesis. Trent for POTUS, give that speech. Yo, thank you. Thank you, Morbid Drifter. Look, I'm just trying to protect us, bro. Just like how you saw my passion, how I was talking about that, right? That's just the way that I felt when I was just thinking about myself. Like, I'm not about to be saying when they show you what they are, believe them. Absolutely. 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 Amen to that, Karate 357, for real. But yeah, one sentence trade thesis. So the focus of this tip of the day is the focus that we're on this tip of the day is going to be clarity, right? So if your idea is strong, meaning the idea for your trade setup for your trade, it should be simple, right? A valid trade should be explainable in one sentence. Just the way when I explain to you guys how my trade, right? So let's give an example of a one sentence trade thesis. Excuse me. Bearish bias. I'm entering a premium after liquidity sweep, and I'm targeting the prior low. That's an example of a one sentence trade thesis. If you need like a paragraph to explain it, that's not a one sentence trade thesis, number one. And that shows uncertainty. It shows forcing context, and it shows there's some complexity in there, right? Because the conviction is kind of weak, right? Because usually a one sentence is pretty strong conviction. I'm doing this, I'm looking for this, then that, and I'm taking profits here. Stop loss here, da-da-da-da, like real quick. And in that one sentence trade thesis, there's some things that you should be talking about. Your bias, your entry location, and your target, right? Real simple. One sentence trade thesis. Hey, I get it. When it affects your bottom line, is there a line to be drawn? I live, play to pay, so I definitely, absolutely. 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 So going back to that, your one sentence trade thesis. Um, one and done. That's a good one. Badavan, that's a good one. That's a good one sentence trade thesis. One and done. It's basically saying what? One trade, win or lose, profitable or not profitable, I'm done. That's also good. Now, a one sentence trade thesis, if you're explaining your trade and if someone says, what are you looking at? Right? And you tell them, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that. My entry will be, if I get the setup, my entry will be here, my stop loss will be here, I'm taking profits here. Real simple. Right? Because that shows what? One base hit, not split. J. Royal's funny. What you say? Hit it and quit it. Yeah. So your one sentence trade thesis is going to be based on your execution for that trade. Let's keep that in mind. So that's what that's what it's about. So your one, like what you're looking at, your bias, your entry location, and your target. And of course, you're going to put your stop loss in there. You know what I mean? So there that is. That's something that we always want to remember for ourselves. If you're looking at the charts and you can't say, my bias, I'm looking for this. If I get this set up, my entry's here. I'm targeting here. If it's a bunch of if it goes longer than that, rethink your one sentence trade thesis and rethink, how would I say, rethink your trade setup and your trade breakdown, because your strategy should be very, very simple. Shouldn't be complex. That's why a one sentence trade thesis is so important. Should not be complex. Shouldn't be no whole paragraph. If someone asks you, it should be quick, real simple. My thesis is bullish. I'm looking for this, and I'm targeting this. Real simple. Real simple. And anything more than that is you need to rethink your strategy, and you need to, and when I say rethink it, I'm not saying find a new one. I'm saying rethink your strategy. Understand your strategy a little bit better. And I'm gonna give you an example of what if someone was to ask me, Trent, what you looking for? I told y'all I was looking for buys, right? But honestly, based on what I've seen here, I should have been looking for sells. And this is what we're going to talk about on Monday. And we're going to bring this back up, because if you remember at the beginning of the stream, I said that we're going to I'm going to show you how to figure out your bias. Basically figure out the bias for New York session based on what's going on overnight. We're going to do that. All right. So for the sake of example purposes, go to the 1 minute, because that's where I take my trade. I take the strategy on the 1 minute. Someone asked me, right? I know I said I was looking for buys, but for the sake of example purposes, someone asked me, Trent, what you looking at? My bias is bearish. If I get market structure shift to the downside, if I get a market structure shift to the downside with a fair value gap, my entry will be here at the top of at the bottom of this fair value gap. I'm targeting this daily level. Real simple. One sentence. Real simple. One sentence. And if so, where's your stop loss? At the previous swing high. Real simple. It's not a long, drawn out, I'm waiting for this, and then I got to look for that, and then that. No, it should be very, very simple. One sentence trade thesis, right? That's just the thesis of what you're looking at and what you're going to take. It should be bias, entry, target. Of course, you can throw your stop loss in there, but I'm saying you should be looking at what your bias is, your entry, which is going to be in the direction of your bias. Your bias can only go two ways, right? It only can go bullish or bearish. So that's pretty simple. Two choices. Then the other thing is your target. And everybody knows why this will be my target, because this is the daily level. This is what I target. I target these pink lines. That's why they're there. I have a video that explains that. So that would be my one sentence trade thesis. Once again, real simple. Trent, what are you looking for? Man, I'm looking for sales. If I get market structure shift and a fair value gap, I'm going to place my entry right at the bottom of this fair value gap, wait for price to come back and tap me in, and I'm targeting this daily level right here. One sentence trade thesis. Real simple. Real simple. And that's how you want your one sentence trade thesis to be, because what that is doing is that's clarity, right? You know what you're looking for, meaning direction. You know where you're going to place your entry, and you know what your target is. That's what you want. That's how you want to be able to execute when you come into the market every day. You want to be able to know that. And I'm saying, if you ask yourself that question, okay, you're sitting down, what are we looking at? What are we looking at? You always want to ask yourself that question. Don't just sit down and ask yourself the question. Okay, what are we looking at today? Get the psychology going. That's the whole point, right? Get the psychology going. What are we looking at today? And you should have a one sentence trade thesis. And if that doesn't, I got you, Empress. And if that doesn't line up, then guess what? You sit on your hands. You take nothing. You don't force nothing. You close the charts out. You take nothing. And that's that. Just that simple. So I know I'm not trading anymore today, so I'm going to close out this little eval, this new eval that I got, because I know I'm done for the day. All right, cool. So let's go back to that. Let's finish that up. So just remember, in your one sentence trade thesis, there should be three things: bias, entry location, and target. And if you know your strategy and you know what your stop loss is, it doesn't mean that there's no stop loss included. I'm just saying these are the three major components of your one sentence trade thesis. Just always keep that in mind. It should be very simple, very streamlined. It shouldn't have like complexity. It shouldn't have like a weak conviction. You should just know it. I'm looking for this entry here, taking target here, taking profits here. This is my target. Done. Real simple. So, you guys always like to leave you with that. All right, let's jump into this chat. What do you guys mean when you say base hit? So, hold on, let me go. One question before that. But it's confusing for HSS users because HSS is designed to be in and out faster. So you're taking less on each entry. And in my opinion, HSS strat means taking more than one trade. That needs more clarity because it's confusing. Absolutely. Well, this is the thing too you have to remember. Morbid Drifter. HSS is a scalping strategy. So because you're scalping, it's going to be a lot of things different from someone like myself who's a strategy trader, right? So there's different sets. We have somewhat a different set of rules, so to speak, right? Because you're right, you are going to take more trades because you're scalping. Scalpers take more trades. That comes with the scalping game. Strategy traders, they take less trades. It doesn't mean one is better than the other. They're two different styles. As I stated before, I'm not a scalper. I don't like scalping because I don't like the in and out, the in and out, the in and out. That's just me. I'm not saying scalping is bad. I'm just saying for my personality, it just doesn't work for my personality. I like the strategy trading because I'm a very detail-oriented person. So I like the strategy because I like to wait for the setup. The setup is there. I understand my bias, enter my target, stop loss. I let the trade rock. So for me, that speaks to my personality. But I agree with you. It's going to be a little bit different. But you still, with the HSS, you still have a one sentence trade thesis, right? Think about it. What would that be? It would be something like, now don't quote me on all the rules because I don't have them all down, but it would be something like a rejection off the 100, three momentum candles, flat bottom. When I get the doji, I'm entering on the doji, right? One sentence trade thesis. It's still the same. It's just in your strategy. So that the one sentence trade thesis never really changes. That never really changes. Now, being one and done, of course, you can't do the one and done rule, right? Because in scalping, you have to take more trades, right? So the one and done might not fit you. But also too, you could be one and done on a hybrid super scalping. You could take your base hit. Getting into the question Soak Insider asked me, you could take your base hit of like $200-300, whatever that is, and be done. Trade your 5 micros, take your base hit. You could leave a runner when it gets to your target. Go in at 5 micros. When it hits your TP, have that set to 4 micros. There'll be one micro contract left in. Move your stop loss just above break even. I mean, your stop loss just above your entry, which is break even, but I like to say just above your entry. And there it is. And let it rock. And then you could be one and done with that. You don't have to take multiple trades. You can, but you don't have to. And then you're still one and done. If you lose one, in scalping, I know when a trade is not profitable, you have opportunities to go back. So like I said, the rules are a little bit different, but you can adapt certain rules the way you want to. You can always tailor the rules to the way that you want to trade. I know Euphoria takes multiple trades a day, but think about it. He don't take the same amount of trades every day. That all depends on there's times I've seen him not take any. There's times I've seen him take like 1 or 2. There's times I've seen him take like 6 trades in a day. But I'm sure that's all dependent upon price action. So you can tailor your rules to your personality and the way that you want to trade. And Soaking Insider base hit would be like a base hit would be like taking profits outside of holding, right? Like some people, they just want to just hold. They want to get like just all the amount of money that they can out that one trade. Take a base hit, $200-300 base hit. Because think about it, most of our take profit targets are not 200 or 300. It's probably a little bit more than that. But take a base hit, couple $100, $300, $250, whatever. It's not really an amount. It's just it's a trade where you're not holding, right? You're taking a portion of that, so to speak, right? So let me give you an example. Let's go to my screen share. All right. So for me, this would be one step. This would be one market structure shift would be one step in my in this strategy that I trade. The second step would be the fair value gap, right? Then I have confirmation to enter the trade, right? Now my target is down here at this pink level, right? But I could have took profits right here at this level, or I could have took profits anytime before that. That would be considered a base hit. Like if I didn't want to hold it, base hit, just a little something. I'm trading 10 accounts. So even if I took $200, that's 2 bands, small amount, right? But it's a base hit. Now, like I said, my true target would be this pink level, would be this pink line. I would have to hold it, and that's okay. I would have, but I'm saying I'm just to give you an example, a base hit would be, and for this strategy, it's taking less of the whole move. So that would be a base hit. Just to give you an example. But yeah, so Empress. Tips on back testing. Tips on back testing that I would give is you can use, let me go back to my screen share. You can use this replay function right here. You can use that. But the reason why I don't like to use this is let me say this. I have no problem using this. Let me say it another way. The reason why I like to use FX replay is because FX replay, it gives you like a ton of analytics. And if you go back 3 years, go back on FX replay, because what's cool about FX replay, they have a partnership with TradingView. So when you're on FX replay, you're on TradingView charts. That's the dope thing, right? You can go back to 1985. You can go back as far as you want to go back. I've never tried to go all the way as far back, but I know I have been into the 80s on FX replay just to check it out. I'm like, well, it goes all the way back. So do you need to go that far back? Not really. 3 years. Go to FX replay. In FX replay, they allow you to put your strategy in. What you do is you create a session, right? And in that session, you can put your strategy, whatever that, let's say it's HSS. So you can put your strategy for HSS. You can create another session for another strategy, and so on and so forth. So you can have all of these sessions with all of the different strategies that you may trade, right? And then when you start your session, you click on that session that you want to start for that strategy, and then you trade it. Now, I recommend going back 3 years, right? And back test all the way to present. What FX Replay does for you, though, is it's going to calculate every time that you went into that strategy session and you back test it. So let's say you started 3 years. Let's say you started 2023. You started March of 2023. You started today. You started March of 2023. You went back 3 years. Of course, you're not going to be able to trade a whole 3 years in one day, right? It's going to take you probably, depending on how often, within a few weeks to a month, depending on how often you're on it, right? Every time that you trade a session and you're done, it's going to keep your analytics up to that time. When you jump back in and pick up where you left off, it's going to continuously keep those analytics. When you get done with the 3 years, it's going to give you a full breakdown of so many different metrics. It's going to tell you like the best times that you were profitable, the times that you were least profitable, the days. I'm talking about, it gives you so, I'm not even giving it justice on, I'm telling you, the metrics are through the roof. It gives you, I would say, at least 10 different metrics of analytics. I'm talking about, it breaks it down to the very last compound. Like, it breaks it down. That's why I always recommend FX Replay. That $30, $35 a month for the pro account, in my opinion, is worth it, because that's what you don't get from TradingView. TradingView will let you go back and all of that stuff. Like, you can do all that, but it doesn't give you the analytics, and that's what we need. So my tips on back testing would be, get an FX Replay account, and I'm telling you, it's just the best thing going. Get an FX Replay account. You can go on to you can go on to YouTube. I mean, they have some resources, but you can go on to YouTube and you can Google in. I mean, you can type in a search bar like how to effectively use FX Replay. And I believe FX Replay has their own YouTube channel. So you can go on there and go through all the stuff, shows you how to work it, shows you how to use it, shows you how to, make the best of it for yourself. And once you start doing that, I'm telling you, you're going to notice a difference, because you're seeing things much more clear when it comes to your strategies. And I love it. Like, it's the best thing going. And you're going to have all those analytics, and it breaks it all down for you. You don't have to do anything. And like I said, you can do strategy sessions for each strategy. So you can have all your strategies in there, and then you can just bounce around. Like, let's say you want to do this, like today, you're going to practice your HSS. Tomorrow, you're going to practice another strategy. Like, you can just bounce around, and it just keeps those analytics there. And that's what I love about the pro account. Like, the analytics don't go away. Like, they're there forever for as long as you own that account. Best thing going. Best thing going. So that would be my tips on back testing. Do that, and it's cool. Any other questions? You know how to get in contact with me. You know how to hit me up. Just hit me up. But I'm telling you, you can't go wrong with FX Replay. And that's for everyone. I know I was answering Impress's question, but that's for everyone. So I'll be honest. Okay, boom. Yep, that's what I did. 30 points. See, that's a base hit. 30 points. He just got a little bit of something more, but I personally am just on demo still. So I have a 3 a day for HSS, but some people only take one if it wins, and two if first. Yep, makes sense. Base hits. See profit, take profit, don't hold. Trade trying to reach to hope the risk reward. Absolutely. I like the way you put that, Nano Trades. Very well put. Where can I find your strategy? I don't have my strategy anywhere, because my strategies are strategies that were taught to me. I'm gonna end up doing some videos, channels on the strategies that I trade, but they're not really, I mean, how can I word this? They're strategies that I trade, but they're not mine. They were taught to me from my coach and my mentor. They're his strategies, but I don't have a video as of yet. I will, and I will do some, and I'll go from there. You know what I'm saying? And I'll make the videos, and then I'll have them there, and I'll let you guys know. But as we're going through these days, you will definitely learn my strategies as we're going along. We're just really, really kind of building. When I first started this thing, it wasn't just to just start jumping into trading and doing like call outs and all of that stuff. I wanted to build first, work on psychology, and kind of get everybody there. And it's really, really cool. What about the journal and TEF? How can you guard against going over 6,000 on the easy? All right, so let me go to you, Mr. Cologne. The journal TEF, it's a WAGMI journal. Basically what it does is it journals all of your trades that you take on TEF. And that's cool. Like, that's cool. That's for, think about it. That would be for everything present, right? That's all your present trades. FX replay is your historical data. You can't get that nowhere, but FX replay, TradingView has it. And I think there's a couple other companies that do the back testing, allows the back testing feature, but FX replay is where you want to go for your historical data. Historical data is back testing. Demo trading is your forward testing of that strategy. And then when you get into the live market, that would be, your present data for, trading it live. How can you guard against going over 100K? I mean, it's going over 6,000 on 100K. Easy. By making sure that, so wait a minute, 6,000. Is that what it is? Let me see here, make sure we're on the same page. So for the 100K account, no, it's not 6,000. It's 6,000 for the profit target. The 20% consistency rule on that is, I think it's 1,200. Yeah, it's 1,200. So the 20, 50, 3, 25, 15. Yeah, 20% would be 1,200, right? For the 100K account. So Jerome, you want to make sure that you're not going over the 20% consistency rule, which is 20% of 6,000, which would be $1,200. Meaning you can only make up to $1,200 a day. You can't go over $1,200 in one trading day. So the way that you prevent from not going over that, absolutely, Serena. You want to make sure that you're not going over the consistency rule. The way you do that is just make sure that you set your take profit level. You gotta you be trading micros, however many micros you're trading, you just do the math. So with the math, it's depending micros. One micro is 50 cents a tick, depending on how many you're trading, how many points, 4 ticks in a point. You just got to do the math on it. Just as long as you're staying under $1,200 in profits every day. So you got to stay under $1,200 in profits, but you want to make sure that you still reach the $6,000 profit target, which is the payment threshold or the payout threshold, the payout threshold. And then once you get over the 6,000, then you're eligible for a payout as well as having the 7 trading days of making $150. That's why it's imperative to go and read the rules and also watch the video that I have. The video, I break it down. So watch that video. It'll give you a little bit more clear, how would I say, understanding. If not, you have some questions, you know how to hit me up. Just set your profit and payment. Just set your profit and payment. Absolutely. Real simple. Just how Serena said it. You want to make 6K, you just want to make sure that you're making only $1,200 max per day. So you don't want to worry about the 6K. Don't worry about that because you want to get to that and you want to go over that. That's no problem. You just want to make sure that you're not making more than $1,200 in a day. Just set your profit target. Yep, to that amount. Absolutely. Absolutely. Or less of that amount. Or less of that amount. I'm with you. I got you. I know you said cent, but you meant set. I got you. Yes, sir. Correct. So you just don't want to go over 12. You just don't want to go over $1,200 and you're good. And you will stay under the consistency rule and you'll never have an issue. Because you breach the consistency rule, that's going to hurt you. It's going to make it's going to change your profit target from 6,000 to however, whatever the percentage is you went over the consistency rule. And it's going to be ugly. Don't go over the max 1,200 a day. You want to be a little less. You want to be a little bit less just to be safe. Absolutely, Morbid Drifter. Thank you for that. Thank all of y'all for that. And take profits along the way. Absolutely. Absolutely, Serena. That's being a very, very smart, safe trader. Take profits along the way. Never let a green trade turn red. That's why I preach micros. With micros, you can take off a contract. You could take off another contract. You trade 5 micros, you got 5 opportunities to, you know what I mean? Take some profits. It's okay. If it's running up, you could take 2 contracts off. Let it keep running. Take 2 more. You got one more in the game. Like, you can take profits as you go. And as you're taking profits, that amount is being banked. You know, that money's safe. You just look at it as being in the bank now. But I did go over the 1800. Ew. You went over the 1800. If you went over the 1800, my guy, then your profit target is going to be a lot higher. That's why we trade micros. That is the reason why we trade micros. Thank you, Ray. Appreciate that. But yeah, that is the reason why we trade micros. So we can, we can manage that trade. But yeah, so just remember about the one sentence trade thesis. Just keep that in mind. Something that you always want to make sure that you can tell yourself every day when you sit down. One sentence trade thesis. So with that said, it was something I had wanted to talk about. Remember I said something I had wanted to talk about. What was that? Let me think, y'all. It's something I had wanted to get into. I think it was something about the TEF accounts, about the hedge funder accounts. What was it? I think I did mention it, but I'm just gonna say it again. If you missed a 25% off, no big deal. I still will advise anyone, if you're gonna get some platform accounts, the hedge funder accounts right now, the ones, there's a special deal between March 17th, purchasing them between March 17th and March 31st. Now the 25% discount is gone, but you can still get the type of account that I'm speaking of, the one with the no max loss limit and the no daily loss limit. That's unheard of in the hedge funder. It's unheard of. If you're going to buy any prop firm accounts, those will be the accounts to purchase. I'm telling you, there's no other prop firm that's doing this. Save yourself, add a great account to your game and get some of those accounts. I'm telling you, just remember, if you buy accounts now between the 17th, I know today is the 20th, but you still got time. You have 11 more days to the 31st. Those accounts come with no max loss limit and no daily loss limit. Now, after the 31st, that's it. It's still consistency rule and all the other rules apply. But the 2 main things in these accounts that you can't get anywhere else is no max loss limit, no daily loss limit. On the no max loss limit, that means the account, if you have a 25K, 50K, 100, 150K, the account has to get to 0 before it blows. You heard me. I didn't misspeak. The account has to get to 0 before the account blows. Nobody's doing that in the prop firm space. So right now, from a trader-friendly perspective, trader to trader, right now is the best time to go cop those hedge funder accounts. Get them. You got to get them. I'm telling you. Don't go buy nothing else. If you go buy another prop firm account, remember, you're going to have a max loss limit of, if it's 25K, it's going to be 1,500. If it's 50K, it's going to be 3,000. If it's 100K, it's going to be 6,000. And if it's 150K, it's going to be, take that back. If it's 25K, it's going to be 1,500. If it's 50K, it's going to be 3,000. If it's 100K, it's going to be, what is the loss limit on that? I think it's not 6. I think it's 4,000 or something like that. Something like that. I think it's like 35 or something, just depending on the account. And then I know with the 150Ks, it's 4,500. My point is, regardless what the amounts are, that doesn't matter. The thing is that you're going to have a floor. And once you get to that floor in those accounts blow. With the hedge funder accounts, the ones I'm talking about, purchased between 17th and the 31st of March, there is no max loss limit. In order to blow the account, you have to get to 0. Thank you, Serena. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Serena. But I didn't go over the 1,800. It's 1,200 depending on the account you have. If you have, let's see here. I think it's 1,800 if you have the 150K? I'm not sure. I got to go back and do the math on that. Let me keep my head wrapped around what I'm doing right now, and I'll jump back to you, Ben. But right, 100K 3, 150K 45. There you go. Either way, thanks, Serena. Either way, these accounts have a no max loss limit. Be smart. Help your trading game. Think about it. That means you have so much time to, if you go and draw down 5 grand, 10 grand, 20 grand, whatever it is, you have an opportunity to build the account back up. You still have to stay within the consistency rule, but the account is still alive. It ain't blown. It ain't dead. You still have an opportunity to get that account back up and get yourself to a payout. So keep that in mind. If you're going to purchase accounts, the hedge fund accounts are the ones to purchase. And that's trader to trader. That's not just because I am affiliated with the hedge funder. I mean, y'all know the math. Y'all know other prop firms. Y'all know how it rocks. Ain't nobody doing that. So I just wanted to make sure I say that. With that said, let me look through here. Today, I said mine's at 1738, and since they jumped up so high, it took me out at 1797. Gotcha. That's why I do micros. Yep, I really wish you have a video of your strategy. Trying, I really do. Yeah, I am gonna make videos on my strategy. That's gonna be the next thing. But as I stated, I was just kind of building and just kind of going from there. Oh, I know what it was I wanted to talk to y'all about. So today has been a full trading month of Trade Genius Live. So now that we've gotten through 1 month, the next thing that we're going to start working on is I'm going to start bringing in guests. I'm going to start having guests, start bringing on some coaches, start doing some interviews. All of this was just part of the game. I like to do things in steps. And also we're going to start doing giveaways. So everyone that has been on the call, everyone that has subscribed to the channel, you will be eligible for all the giveaways that we're going to start doing. And our giveaways are going to be involved. The giveaways involved, we're going to be giving away all sorts of stuff. We're going to definitely be giving away the hedge funder accounts. We're going to be giving away merch. We're going to also be giving away some different products. We're still deciding what that could be. It could be some MacBooks. There's going to be some good stuff. Ain't going to be no cheap stuff. We're talking about some good stuff. We're going to give away some MacBooks, possibly, like some, like tools, some good tools that we would need. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So stay locked in. Just always been a part of the plan. Also too, I'm considering bringing on a host and having a co-host. Let me know in the chat how y'all feel about that. Let me know. Even if you don't answer today and you need some to think about it over the weekend, how would y'all feel if we had a co-host? Just let me know. Something that I've been considering. And hoodies, all that stuff. Hoodies, the polo shirts, hats, as far as the merch is concerned, everything that you see me wear, t-shirts, as well as, like I said, we're going to be giving away the hedge funder accounts. That's the only accounts that we're going to give away, because that's the only accounts that I would want to give away. I'm not trying to give away no other prop firm accounts. It's only going to be the hedge funder accounts. And we're also going to be giving away some nice devices. Euphoria, yep, that he's definitely on the list. Absolutely Morbid Drifter. We're going to be bringing in coaches so they can go over different. As long as they bring value, you know what I mean? Like me, absolutely. You got it, bro. You got it, J-Roll. Yes, they're going to be bringing value. That's for sure. And like I said, devices, we're going to be giving away some cool stuff. If you live in another country, it's going to be hard to send you a device. So just keep that in mind. I don't want to be paying after getting a device, because this is all stuff that I'm going to be buying. It's not about the amount and me buying. I don't care about that. Like I'm giving back. I want to give back to my community. This is how it works. We're in a relationship, right? We're in a relationship, right? We're in a trading relationship. So I just don't want to have to be spending like a bunch of money trying to send something to you in another country. And, we're dealing with customs and all of that type stuff. So if you're living in another country, it's going to be a little bit difficult to do that. Also, if you live in another country, probably the accounts would be the best for you, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. That's still some things me and the team are been working on and talking about, but all of that is coming. Just want to let y'all know that. Like, I'm just letting y'all know, like, I'm way down the road thinking. I just wanted to get to this is something that I didn't know how this was going to go. I came in it with the best intentions. I wanted it to be amazing. And we, thank the Lord for everything that has happened so far. Like, it's been great. It's been amazing. I love it. And I know we're at the point now to where it's time for those things to start happening. So we're going to be, like I said, we're going to be doing some interviews. We're going to be bringing on some coaches. We're going to be bringing people that's going to bring value. You know what I mean? They're going to teach. They're going to give value. They're going to, drop gems, give game, giveaways on merch, giveaways on devices. Like, we're going to have all of that stuff popping. So I just want to just throw that out there and just let y'all know, like, I'm definitely doing everything I can to enhance this community and make this community, super inclusive, but also to let y'all know that I'm definitely believing in giving back. It's been nothing but amazing. That's what's up, Serena. I appreciate that. And also too, co-host. That's on the table. That at some point that's going to happen. We're just still building, and we want to make sure that we do it the right way. And whenever we do bring a co-host on, the co-host, see, that's the thing. The co-host has to mirror and reflect my passion and vision. Steel sharpens steel. That's the thing. And that's what we want to make sure of. We want to make sure that the co-host that we bring on is going to be that kind of, you know what I mean? That kind of energy. You know what I mean? And there, I have people in mind. I'm almost pretty much set on one. I'm not going to give too many. I ain't going to give it away or nothing like that. But, oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. I've been a better trader since tuning. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. I'm so glad to hear that, my guy. That's dope, Ben. I love it, brother. I love it. I love the idea of guest and co-host that mirrors. Yep. Absolutely, Karate 357. And that's why I initially was going to do it sooner on the co-host, but I was like, you know what? I think I need to get some things going first. Like, I need to, we just gotta, how it is, right? In business, timing is everything, right? Sometimes you can be too soon. Sometimes you can be a little too late, but I'd rather be a little too late than too soon. You know what I mean? Because I want to make sure that we have everything set up. So when the co-host does come in and he or she is sitting here, that nothing's going to change. It's just going to be an added value to what we're already doing. So I think we're on the right track. Being here with you guys lets me know. Trust me, that's why I read every comment. Like, I read every comment, every single one. And I'm talking about, you guys see me, I read them on the stream. And even when people are commenting on, on different videos and stuff like that, you guys know I always reach back and I go in and I make sure I comment back to y'all. If you haven't already, give me them free likes, y'all. Give me them free clicks. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Like me up. That's all I ask. And that's free. And then I take care of everything else from there. But yeah, so just wanted to let you guys know that. I like to be transparent, let you guys know what I'm thinking and get your input back on what's going on, because you guys are a part of this community. Without you guys, there would be no community. So your input is always going to be greatly appreciated. And not only that, I'm going to make sure that I include what everybody says. That's why I ask you. I'm not asking you just to get you to comment. I'm asking you because I really, truly want to know what y'all thinking. Because like my grandmother always told me, two heads is always better than one, period. One person can't think of everything. But when you got a bunch of people chiming in and giving you all their different ideas, I think that's a great thing. I just backtested for a week, 6 months of real backtested data, but I'm already improving my trading performance. See, just off 6 months. But Badavan, I would say, go back 3 years, my brother. Like, this is what I have learned from $1 million traders. And Juvier will tell you this. And he even still backtests to this day. He's still back, but he will tell you this. 3 years. Start there and work your way back. But 6 months is still good. You're welcome anytime. 6 months is still good. I mean, it's still, like you said, you're already seeing improving in your trading performance significantly. So check this out. I'm gonna leave this one. Give y'all this one last metric on the back testing, and then we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna go and enjoy our weekend. So check this out. So on FX replay, right? I mess with y'all. Know I'm deep in the FX replay. On my way to 3. Absolutely, my guy. Your stream has really helped me slow down in the mornings, not rushing forced trades. Love all the info you go over. Got to run for business. Have a great weekend. I'll see you Monday. Absolutely soaking insider. Blessings, brother. Appreciate the kind words. I appreciate that, my guy. You just letting me know I'm doing my job and handling my responsibility. So check this out. So the guy in FX replay, based on statistics, this is the guy who runs like their little, when they're doing their when they're having their like doing their little seminars, their little webinars, whatever. He said 1 day of back testing equals, I think he said a month, or I think he said 60 days or 30 days of a real live trading. 1 day of back testing. Just imagine how powerful that is. So if we're going back 3 years and we're back testing, imagine how far ahead of the game you're going to be and how much you're just leveling up your trading performance, as Badavan stated. Just think about that. Just think about that. So back testing is very important. Very, very important. So I'm going to leave y'all with that tidbit. Once again, man, I appreciate everybody that's been on the stream. I appreciate everyone that's been with me since day one. Even the one that's jumped in after that, that's cool. You're here. We're rocking together. Today we made a whole trading month. Man, we thank the Lord for that. That's such a blessing. If you made money today, hopefully you have logged out of your accounts, shut it down. You're going into the weekend green. Other than that, once again, have a blessed remainder of your day. Have a great weekend. And I will see you on Monday. And we gonna rock it again. So once again, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Shout out to the Edge Funder co-founders, Juvier, Scott God, my brothers. Without them, we wouldn't be here. And yeah. So y'all have a blessed remainder of y'all day. Oh, absolutely, Jerry Jack. You're welcome, my guy. Much love to you too, Dilson. I'll see y'all Monday, man. Same time, same Trade Genius channel. Y'all have a blessed weekend.